the picture on the screen here. CM Punk held up this sign after AEW Collision. And I believe it said support trans youth.
Support LGBTQ plus youth is what the sign said.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately.
I'll put it up on the sign. Now I've turned against CM Punk just on the basis of sucking on his return. So I'd like to get into that with you too, but let's talk about this first. So he holds up this sign, and it caused a stir, definitely just kind of online and with guys like us. So give me your take, and then I'll kind of jump in.
Well, I don't actually believe that he does support what he's saying he supports. All he's doing is trying to get clout and some good publicity. He's like with FTR. They don't actually care. They just want to get some good publicity and say, I support this current thing, which is what most of them do anyway.
Right. Well, I let me get your take, because all my people know my take on it. But what's your take on the entire thing of trans youth and all that nonsense?
So, as I stated in my video, there are some genuine people, maybe they're youth, maybe they're older, who do have the gender dysphoria, as it's called, and those people do need some psychological help. But as for things like queer, non-binary, and the one that really pisses me off the most, furries. I hate furries. They're just all fucking weird, and they just want to, I don't know, try and be part of the current thing without thinking of the ramifications of that current thing.
All right, well, let's start at the very basis, just because we've never talked before. How many genders are there?
Well, there are two biological sexes, male and female. Gender is a construct of your personality and genetics based on your biological sex. So there's masculine, feminine, and neutral. And by neutral, I don't mean non-binary. I mean a man that isn't masculine and a woman that isn't feminine.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because everyone's getting the word gender confused with biological sex. But as I've learned over the current weeks, that isn't the case at all. It's just a man that might be masculine or not masculine, and so on.
Well, it's kind of like either they mean the same thing, or they've redefined what the term means, right?
Yeah, because obviously when you sign up for, I don't know, an email account or something, it'd ask gender and it'd say male or female. So I think it's all sort of changed thanks to them. Because back in the day, sex, gender, it was just whatever. We don't care. But thanks to them, it's had to all change, and it's just really annoying.
Gotcha. So you think now? Let's just take it back to CM Punk. So you're thinking that CM Punk doesn't actually know what he's holding up when he's holding up the sign, like Kenny Omega, all of them? Do you think they know what that actually means?
I don't think they're 100% oblivious to it, but they are doing it simply just to get some good publicity. Because didn't Kenny do it on camera?
Did he do it? Sorry, say that again.
Did Kenny do it on camera? Was it on TV, or was it during a break?
From what I know, is he was just. I saw a picture. I never really saw it on TV. However, I have seen a lot of AEW guys, or a couple of them, CM Punk, even Daniel Bryan at times. They wear a lot of like T-shirts that have political slogans and messages on them.
Yeah, I've seen what CM Punk did. It was last year
on abortion, I think it was.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think they know that children are being like pumped with chemical castration drugs. I think they're just doing it so they can get some good publicity. Say, I support this current thing, and they think everyone's going to go, yeah, this guy's great. He supports this current thing.
It's a big virtue signal. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It does it. It's like, well, let me show you this this tweet. Well, I'll read it because I don't think you'll be able to see it. But Evil Uno from the Dark Order posts this. Since we are doing this all over again, fuck sexists, fuck racists, fuck homophobes, fuck transphobes, fuck bigots. Evil Uno supports you. So now I could see that being more of what you're saying in terms of like he's just doing that for publicity or doing that for clout, where he's not really going in depth on ideology or anything. He's just saying fuck these people. It's like that's where I get that from. I don't know. I'd like to think that CM Punk and all these people are smarter than we're giving them credit for, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're just idiots. They don't actually do the research that we do.
Yeah, I think that is really stupid. And when you do try and because it was Cash Wheeler. He was on Twitter a few months ago calling people bigots and whatnot. And I said to him, bro, just do some research. I mean, I'm a fan of FTR. Just respectfully, just go and do some actual research. And I don't think he got back to me. And then a couple of hours later, I saw that, and anyone who is homophobic isn't a fan of mine.
Yeah, right. It's like, okay, we're just now you're kind of like classifying people.
Yeah,
based on what they think. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I don't understand how like a lot of these people. I guess it's kind of like the Bud Light thing, where they're seeing it as a strong stance now to go against, like, to almost take on the boycotting. You know what I mean? Like they're being martyrs now.
Yeah, they went against their fan base, so this is like everything else is doing. You go against your fan base to try and make a new audience of modern audience, and that modern audience doesn't actually buy your product.
Yeah. Now, do you think this is affecting AEW at all? Like, because I mean, I don't know how much more it could, because they're not actually like selling a lot of tickets, but
there's a lot of wrestling fans that aren't awake to it, especially AEW fans that they are virtue signalers. So I don't think the CM Punk and the virtue signaling is going to affect their ratings in any way. But what bad television is, and it's always bad.
Right.
Always.
It just affects it. It affects it to the fan base of like the conservatives, really, and that just depends on how many conservatives are actually watching AEW, or actually how many refuse to watch it because of that.
The Young Bucks, they're conservative, aren't they? And they're EVPs. They're full-on Christians.
Right. I also
Young Bucks.
I also kind of wanted to put this point out there, is there's a lot of people who are putting this thing out like that. We're only believing this because we're following some kind of Republican propaganda. And I said this in a comment. The Republicans are actually following the blue collar conservatives right now. This is like the first time they've done that, where we forced them to actually address this issue. You know what I mean? I don't think if the blue collar people were actually speaking up about it, I don't think there'd be a lot of politicians speaking about it. Republicans, even.
Yeah, well, obviously our politics works different over here. We have obviously we don't have Republican. We have the Tory party, which are conservatives, and
true.
And then we have UKIP, which are a bit more far to the right, but they're not very successful. But the Tory party, they're the ones that they've banned the chemical castration drugs. So they've been banned because there's not enough research to actually say they're reversible, and they can't exploit it for money because we don't pay for our healthcare over here. It's all government funded. So that they don't gain any profit. So if they don't gain any profit and it has actual horrible ramifications, and there's no need for them to keep it legal.
Right. Well, the point is how can anybody look at what we're talking about, chemical castration of children and child abuse and pedophilia? Really, they're trying to legalize that. How do people look at that and go, you only believe that because it's a political propaganda piece? It's like, no, like how does who doesn't see pedophiles as a natural enemy? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I've shared a certain clip around all the Twitter. You might have seen it. It's a clip of a little girl stroking a grown man in dog fetish gimp gear at a pride parade, and there was actually people sticking up for it and defending it.
What was their argument to that? I don't get it.
Well, I can't remember most of the Twitter arguments, but I did share it in the Cult of Cornet Facebook Messenger group with a load of other things. And I made a compilation of evidence of grooming for children, and I put it in that group when I was ranting about CM Punk, because I put, before you all call me bigots and such, watch this clip. It was about 1 minute and 7 seconds long, and then it was just full of evidence of grooming, and not one person said it was wrong.
Yeah, it's like that's fucking insane that nobody like even on that side could go, yeah, that's wrong, but I believe this. You know what I mean? It's just they can't even talk against it.
I did have a couple of people say that on Twitter. There are a couple of people that said, yeah, I don't agree with that, but you're also painting a bad light towards normal gay people, which I thought, yeah, I am a little bit, which is why I made that politically unbiased video, because in that video I was pretty politically unbiased, and I just stated facts, and said it is genuinely affecting normal gay people that just want to live their lives and not follow the rainbow cult.
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem is they, and I guess they're being forced to have to like sort of come out and speak about it. Like, because what's happening is now it seems like there's this secretive thing going on where they don't want to admit what it is. But like, if they're not speaking out about it, which is not fair, you're right though. Like, for me to say if a gay person's not speaking out about it, they must be a pedophile. It's not right. But the same thing is like what's being pushed under the guise of LGBTQ, and then somebody comes up to me and says, I'm LGBTQ. It's like, is it a political group? Is it a sexual identity? What are you identifying as? That's where I think it's so muddied that people are confused.
When people use the full thing LGBTQ 2S IA plus and whatever other fucking letters they decide to add, then yeah, that's when you attempt to educate them on the subject, and if they refuse to be educated on the subject, and that's why you just fucking groomer. You're a groomer.
Isn't that sort of the definition? You're educating a child on sex. You're grooming them. Yeah,
because what I do is, unless I see someone that's attacking us, if I see someone that's just saying why are people so homophobic, I will attempt to educate them on the subject before laying in on them, because that's the best way to go about it. If I just lay in on them immediately, then that's not going to help anything.
Well, what's crazy is when I tried to do that on the Kenny Omega post on Twitter, and I was showing pictures. One of the things was I was showing pictures of a sex change, and I was like,
"Oh yeah, I saw that."
Yeah, and
I remember seeing that. That was disgusting.
Yeah. And the reason why I shared that is because when I first saw it, I had such a visceral reaction to it that I was like, I will never support this. I just can't ever support this. It's like they've ruined their body.
It was that bad. I didn't even want to save it to my phone as evidence, because usually when I find things like that, I'll save it and I'll say in my next argument with someone, look at this. But I couldn't even save that.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick. Yeah. And what's crazy is I had to share it just to like go, all right, same reason why you're sharing the stuff like you did your compilation is like, here's the real thing. Here's the evidence. Now let me see your visceral reaction. And their visceral reaction wasn't anger or disgust. You know what I mean? That's what throws me off is how do you not have that as a human? But then what's crazy is they tried to go, oh, well, now you're sharing child porn.
Oh yeah, I know. I've had that. I've had people say you have this next to pictures of your daughter, and I'm just like, no, I don't, because I don't even have many pictures of my daughter on my phone. They're all on Facebook, and my missus has got them all. And then the only pictures I have of her are right at the bottom, the first few pictures I got. So no, I don't have these pictures next to pictures of my daughter. And they all try and call me a paedophile, and they try to get to me because they try and say I molest my child, and I know what they're doing, and I don't let it get to me because I know exactly what they're doing, and I just don't let them get to me.
Yeah, me either, because it's just so ridiculous. It's like you're ignoring actual pedophilia, and you're trying to project it onto me, and I'm the one trying to expose it to you. It's just idiocy.